All right, everyone. Well, third time's the charm, I guess. So welcome to an impromptu Q&A session. We started off tonight's late stream with the conclusion of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Literally everyone on planet Earth told me that the final boss, Shadow Link, was tough. I beat him in 2 attempts. So we beat the game in 20 minutes. I had nothing else to do. So, do some random fighting games. Try the ones you can stream on PS3 over PS Plus. Okay. We tried. There's no one playing them, and the only people playing have insanely bad connections. So now we're doing random Q&A for about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. We'll see where the night takes us here. All right. So let me open up the stream to Q&A. The first question is from Mango, who says, I just got here. How did you get past the final Zelda boss? I never finished the game. The second to last boss, you can only hit after you cast the Thunder Spell. Then it's vulnerable. Then you use jump. You jump around, smack it in the face, and don't get hit by the fireballs. It wasn't that hard. The second boss is Shadow Link. You can't fight him head up, so you back against the wall, and he was coming at me. I just blocked a whole bunch of attacks and noticed after I blocked like 6, 7 attacks, he would take a step back and a step forward again. So I said, let me try to hit him, and it worked. And then I just block, hit, block, hit, and I beat him. Second try. It wasn't hard at all. For someone who just beat Elden Ring and beat every secret boss, including Millennia, that's not hard at all. That was easy. That was kids' play. Child's play for me, man. You don't know what I went through with fucking Elden Ring. You have no idea. So, that's what I mean. You play a super hard game like Elden Ring, and then it's like, play this epic hard game from your childhood. Right now, if I played Ninja Gaiden, I'd probably beat it with 1 life. I'd just go, I'd beat it all. I'm serious. I'm not serious. I'm kidding. But anyway, that's the point. I beat it. Thoughts on the new Skate being free to play? Asked Greg. Yeah, so there was all this rumor about a new Skate game coming out. And there has not been a Skate game in quite some time. And people were excited for it. And all of a sudden, apparently it came out today. That it's free to play with microtransactions. And everyone's like, oh, shit. Skate has never been free to play. It's always been a full-fledged game you buy. You get tons of features and things in it. And now they're going to turn it into a fucking free-to-play microtransaction mess. People are like, oh, shit. So it's probably going to be a piece of shit. It probably will be. I mean, the thing is, if it is free-to-play, I might give it a shot. But I'm not spending any money on it. Fuck that. Okay. Phew. Who's my favorite Star Wars character and why? Let's see. In George Lucas's remake trilogy, I like the lead singer of the 3D rendered band that sings in Jabba the Hutt's palace, and they go me 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 me. That's my favorite part of the remake. So that's my favorite character for sure. There we go. Excuse me. Any shows or new shows I've been watching with Kat recently? Shit. Let's see. We were watching MasterChef for a while. We watched a little bit of Hell's Kitchen. Didn't get too far with that. We actually watched a season of MasterChef Canada. And what happened after that? Then we started watching another person play Elden Ring again, because we never finished watching anyone play Elden Ring. Like, we watched 2 or 3 people playing it over time, and we literally never finished watching anyone play it. So we jumped in and started watching someone else play it again, which was kind of fun. But now she started playing Greedfall yesterday, so likely she'll be playing that for a bit. She likes it right now. She's been playing it for about a day, and she really likes it. So I guess we'll see if she keeps playing it, or if she, halfway through the game degrades into shit, and she doesn't want to play it anymore. But so far, she likes it. So Sakura has to me $40. Thank you to Sakura. So I see the stream has been slow. Here's some money. I've been a fan of yours, and I heard you react to some K-pop for a fan as a private video. I watched both of the videos posted on the fan channel. I wonder if you thought of it, and did you like it? Well, no, I didn't think of it. They did. It was their idea. It was Slayer's idea, totally, to do this. And it was because in the last few months, people had seen me reacting to other things. It's something new that I started doing. I'd never done it before. And people really liked the React content I was doing. Now, on my Patreon, which is at patreon.com/darksidephil, for $50, you can get a private video made. Now, it was always a private Q&A video, because no one really ever thought of anything else or asked for anything else. In this case, Slayer put 2 and 2 together, and it's like, hey, wait a minute. This is a good idea, because Phil did a react. Maybe he can react to some random stuff, and I like K-pop. Let's have him react to some K-pop videos. So I did it, And he really liked it. He decided, because when I make a private video for you, it's your property. Like, you do it whatever you want. You chop it up, you re-upload it somewhere, you give it to others, you make it public. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't care. It's your property. You paid for it. So he put it public on the internet, and a lot of people jumped on and liked it. Oh, we never seen Phil do anything like this. This is interesting. So I actually just did another one for him the other day. Sadly, that one got blocked worldwide because one of the videos apparently had copyright issues. So I don't know. He ended up still able to watch it, which I don't understand. It said blocked worldwide. I give him the link and he can watch it. I guess Slayer doesn't live on Earth. See, it says blocked worldwide. He must live on, like, Jupiter. So Jupiter still can watch the video. So he enjoyed it. Okay. So anyway, so Sakura, thank you for a $40 tip. That's why I put on the gun of glasses, because we hit the $50. Whoa. What did I do? We hit the $50 goal for the night. What the hell did I type here? Here we go. Thank you for that. Azure Mage tipped me $1.50. Says, we draw our power from the infinite ocean of the mind where all manner of things can be conceived. Of course you do. Everyone knows about the Azure Mages. Thank you very much for the $1.50 tip. Very nice. Okay. So what do I think about reacting to these K-pop videos? It's fun. I have zero knowledge or exposure to K-pop at all. What I've seen from these videos I've watched just for these 2 React videos is the only K-pop I've ever seen in my life. It's interesting. It's like a unique combination of, like, pop music in the United States from the 90s combined with some really interesting cinematography that makes it look very much almost like artistic, or almost like a video game in some cases, in other cases like a horror movie. So I've really liked that. Some of the songs are just as fluffy and meaningless as American pop music, and some have actually had some pretty deep meaning. So I thought it was a good combination. Again, I've only seen like maybe 7, 8 videos, something like that. 4, 5, probably like 9 videos. And so far, it's been interesting. Listen, do I like it? No, I don't like pop music to begin with. So I'm not gonna like this stuff. But it's interesting. It's like fascinating to me to be exposed to this culture that I know nothing about. Did I hear Nintendo is acquiring CG Studio Dynamo Pictures and renaming them Nintendo Pictures? Past works near scrolled off the screen. Their past works are near Death Stranding, Persona 5, Lost Odyssey, Monster Hunter World. No, I didn't hear anything about this. Nope. Sticky Fingers 88 just tipped me $10 and says, hey man, what do you think Street Fighter 6 will be? Worse or better than Street Fighter 5? And thanks for the content. I watch you quite a bit. But also many content thieves as well. Many of those content thieves. I really don't care where you watch my content as long as you enjoy it. And every once in a while, if you come by and support it like you just did, why do I care where you watch it? I keep telling people that the ad revenue I make is so negligible. They just don't get how low ad revenue is on YouTube. I mean, I have something like 70,000 videos on YouTube, all supposedly running ads. They don't. That's a misconception. But anyway, and with all that running, and with I still get nearly 1 million views a month on DSPGaming. And it's pittance what I make on ads. So I don't care about that shit. As long as you come by, you have a good time, and every once in a while you support in some way, it's all good to me, man. So anyway, thank you for that tip, Sticky Fingers. Okay. Let's see here. Do I know Derek in real life? No, I do not. Just Derek's been a long-standing... Somebody's poking my eye. Derek's been a long-standing fan, long-standing viewer. He's been along the ride with me as I've been a interactive live streamer. Pretty much that's when he started really being interested in my stuff, is when I became an interactive live streamer in 2017. So he's kind of been along the whole interactive ride with me. He's one of my more involved fans, right? Okay. Mark says, I'm a 95% console gamer. I thought I was a vast majority PC gamer during the entire 90s and 2000s. Do you think Steam Deck will get people like me and you back into PC gaming? I have no idea. I really don't know. Like, I've heard everyone uses Steam Deck for something completely different. Some people just love it for emulation. They're like, I can play all this emulated shit on here, and it's like the best emulated thing ever. Some people are like, I can actually use it as a portable console. I can't play, fucking 4K games on it or anything, but I'm playing really good quality portable games on here now, which is excellent because there was no real alternative to play full-fledged games portably, right? You also have to play a nerfed version on, like, a handheld that cuts corners or makes sacrifices, and this one really doesn't have to. I don't know how many people are actually using the Steam Deck as a PC substitute. I haven't really seen much on social media about that. I get the feeling that most people who bought a Steam Deck already have a PC. Like, they're already PC enthusiasts, and they wanted to find a portable way to have that PC experience on the go. But it's not like, oh, I don't have a gaming PC and I bought a Steam Deck to be a surrogate for that or something. I don't think anyone really did that. If I were ever to have a Steam Deck gifted to me, that's literally what it would be. I would use it as a way to play PC games and see how it works, and maybe it would change things in my content creation methodology. I don't know. I don't have that option, so I can't answer that question for you, you know? Derek, we liked MasterChef Canada's first. I think we watched the whole first season, and we just started watching season 2, and then we kind of put it on hiatus for now. But we liked it. We didn't know any of the judges, but it was still entertaining. Have I checked out Diablo Immortal? I have not. Nope. I have not even, given it a look. Only because I know what would happen. Here's what would happen. If I played Diablo Immortal, I've played Diablo before. I would get hooked on it. I would want to play it and grind in it and do stuff. I know exactly what would happen. I'd probably play through it to like the story end, and then what happens in these games when you get to the end of the story? Oh, you have to be in a guild or a group, right, in order to team up with people and go on big raids and shit, and then to do end game content, which is meant to be the goal of the game, you have to spend money. So all it would be is you play through it, you enjoy it until you get to the point where you can't play it anymore, until you sink tons of money into it, and now you're disappointed because you thought that there was more to the game and there's not. So I'm not going to go down that slippery slope and waste my time with it when I know I'm just going to be disappointed at the end, you know? Okay. Oh, let's see here. No, I would not. I would never get a Dell. I would never get. Someone just said, if you're going to get a new computer, would you get a Dell? Don't get one. I don't recommend it. No. No. I would go with an accredited business who has some clout in, building high-end PCs that are going to be used for business and this kind of purpose. I'm not going to go to Dell. You go to Dell if you want to save money and get a piece of junk just to slap together and do home computing shit. You don't buy a Dell for anything serious. Did I used to get ice cream from the ice cream van when I was a kid? Of course I did. Who didn't? Of course I did. You always get ice cream from the ice cream van. I used to get Fat Frog. And you remember the Fat Frog that you could get? It was an ice cream bar shaped like a frog, and it had green ice cream that was actually vanilla. And then I got... There was another one that had a gumball nose, and I can't remember what it was. It was ice cream that was a face and had a gumball nose, and I can't remember what that one was. Later on, they had Ninja Turtle ice cream pop. Like Ninja Turtle, same thing. It was the same ice cream as Fat Frog, but shaped like a Ninja Turtle head. It was absolutely hideous. I used to get that. No, I've never watched Linus Tech Tips, although I am well aware that they are a very well-respected YouTube channel for things like this, so... Impoverished Baxter investor, I'm sorry. I thought you said don't get a Dell. I thought that's what you said. Isn't that what I said? Did I misspeak? Maybe I misspoke. No, I wouldn't get a Dell. That'd be crazy. I know. Listen. I know. I'm with you on that one. Like I said, Dell made their name being the company that you would have a contract with for your business, and your business needs to get a ton of PCs, like a school or an actual office system, and you would just for a discounted price get a ton of identical fucking PCs that can network together easily and do things for basic computing purposes. Dell should never have been a company that you buy a high-end PC from. I don't know how the hell that ever happened. I think what it is Dell, the brand, got bought out by another company because they're not Dell anymore. Even though they're branded as Dell, they're really not Dell. They got bought out and completely gutted and treated differently. And they said, oh, we're going to have Dell gaming PCs. Like, what? No. That's not what Dell was ever known for, right? They own Alienware now, too. So Dell, Alienware, and there's, I think, a third company. They're all the same company now. Yeah. Didn't I buy a Dell? Did I ever buy a Dell? No, I don't think so. I never owned a Dell. No. My original PC my dad owned was a Hewlett-Packard. Not HP, but a Hewlett-Packard. They were different back in the day. So he had a Hewlett-Packard. And then after that, we got... Oh, what was it? What was the one we had? There was a Pentium 2. We had a Pentium 2. Then we had a Pentium 3. And then I started building my own PCs. I never owned a Dell. No. I owned an Alienware. I owned two Alienware laptops before Alienware was owned by Dell. I owned Alienware laptops. So, yeah. Kendi True did a $5 tip and says, I've been a big fan of yours since 2009. I'm also a gamer who is a semi-pro Age of Empires. Wow. I really hope you try to live stream some RTS games in the future so I can support more. The thing is about RTS games, I do like them. In fact, I did play Age of Empires 1 and 2 back in the day. I actually enjoyed them when I used to be a PC gamer, which I used to be a long time ago. I really enjoyed those kind of games back in the day, and those games were kind of my gateway into like stuff. Actually, okay, here's the truth. I actually started with Warcraft. That I pirated. What? Huh? Who said that? I used to play Warcraft that I fully purchased and installed fully legally on my computer. So I used to play Warcraft and all of its expansions for free because I pirated them all. Wait, but that I bought fully. And I really liked them. So then I ended up playing like Age of Empires and then StarCraft 1 when it came out, and its expansion, which was the Zerg expansion. I can't remember what the name of it's called right now. It was such a popular expansion. It was played forever. And then after that, Warcraft 3 came out, and Warcraft 3 was huge because it took the franchise it took all those RTS games essentially from the realm of like 2D into full 3D for the first time. And it was really cool graphics and fantasy and all of that. And everyone played Warcraft 3, and then there was mods for it and shit that everyone was heavily into, and everyone played those. And this was all before World of Warcraft. People don't realize that Warcraft was insanely popular ever before World of Warcraft came out. World of Warcraft definitely introduced it to a worldwide audience in a different way, but Warcraft was very popular before all of that. And I was part of those formative years. I played all that stuff. I loved it. I loved all that crap. But then, you know what it is? That's basically when I stopped playing it. Like, those years, I basically stopped playing all PC stuff to become a competitive Street Fighter player. And I stopped doing console. On PC, the only real games that I kept playing were first-person shooters like Unreal Tournament and Quake Arena and stuff like that. And I had those that I would play with networked PCs in my parents' house. But outside of that, the only other stuff I played was Street Fighter. I traveled to play Street Fighter, and that was the extent of everything that I played. I didn't do anything else. So that's kind of when I fell out of that stuff, and I never really went back to it. Like, I don't think I've seriously played an RTS game. And then what was it? StarCraft 2 was the last one that I did. What was that? Over 10 years ago, right? And that was it. So the thing is, I don't think I have an audience for RTS. Like, for example, there are well-known content creators who they play that shit all the time, the RTS stuff. They're like specialists in it. They're known for it. With me playing it, the thing is, back in the day, when I was very popular on YouTube, we're talking, 2009, 2010, 2011, I could play any fucking kind of game at all, and people would watch me play it, and a lot of people would be like, wow, because Darkside Phil is playing it, it opens our eyes to this genre of game I never heard before or whatever. I was that popular that I could actually introduce thousands of people to games they never heard of before. When I played StarCraft 2, people were like, whoa, I've never seen this before. When I played a game like Disgaea, remember when I played Disgaea and I didn't know what the fuck it was, and I played it and people were like, oh my god, this is awesome. I'm exposed and whatever to this new stuff. So that's the thing, and that was a long time ago. Then what ended up happening was I lost popularity. I basically became kind of the whipping boy of the internet, right? Let's face it, I became a meme, an internet joke. And then those days are long gone. Now I struggle to get people to check out new stuff. If I try to play something that's outside of AAA or outside of something that's well established as a well-known thing, it's very difficult to get people to watch something. It sucks. I've been trying to play like indie games and stuff on Game Pass or whatever, and a lot of times it's like pulling teeth to get people to show up to a stream if it's a game they didn't hear about, So RTS, to me, I'm not saying I wouldn't be interested in it. I probably would, but I feel like it wouldn't be successful. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Unless, for example, RTS got insanely reinvigorated, much like how Street Fighter 4 insanely reinvigorated the fighting game community. What if, like, StarCraft 3 came out of nowhere and it was insanely hyped and everyone was into it? Then maybe I would consider it again. But outside of that, I don't think it would work for my style of content, just being honest. Excuse me. Oh, did you? Burnt Zapato says he sent a tip. Thank you, Burnt Zapato. Let me check here, because Burnt Zapato somehow got blocked from the conventional means of sending me a tip. So now he sends tips via another way. In fact, here it is. I just gotta wait for this to load. Just gotta wait for this to load. Burnt Zapato has sent me a $10 tip. Thank you to Burnt Zapato for the very generous tip. I appreciate that. That gets us up to $76 in tips on essentially a stream that was one of the most random streams I've ever done. Zelda, fighting games that didn't work, and now random Q&A. If anything, what you guys are showing me, and I really appreciate you guys chilling with me tonight, is that it doesn't matter what I do. I could be standing here picking my nose, you know what I mean? Eating my ear boogers or whatever. Okay, that's kind of disgusting, but the point I'm making is I could do whatever, and you guys enjoy being here and chilling with me. And I like that. I'm happy about that. I really appreciate that I can basically on the fly do whatever, and you guys have a good time with me. Because we could have done anything tonight, and he's like, doesn't, or finished early, then it doesn't work, and you guys are still here chilling, and I really thank you for that. Thank you. My night's been good so far, Tyler. Thank you for asking. Is this a sign I should do more non-gaming content? I mean, if anything, this year we've definitely seen a sign that I need to diversify. It shouldn't just be all games. The podcast, you know, is one way to do that. The Level 1 podcast to diversify, have that hour and a half before I do any gameplay for the day. And that's great. A good way to talk about topics. The React content has absolutely been a good way to branch out from that. And the other thing is variety of React. First, it was drama style reacting. Then it was reacting to game events. Then it was reacting to another YouTuber's channel like Rob Gavigan. So this is good to have that variety. How cool is it? We watched the Rob Gavigan channel. It worked out pretty well. And now we have something cool to go back to at Halloween. That's sweet. That's so cool, man. I'm so excited for the future. Things are exciting, you know, as a content creator. Something like that's very exciting to me. So, Party Boy, to be $2, said, did you ever play city builder games? I did not. I was not a big sim guy. No Sim City for me. I know there was all this stuff. They had, like, for example, Sim Coaster. You know, build a theme park, build a zoo, build a city. I wasn't into that stuff. Some people were. I was never into it. Even when the Sims became, like, super popular, I was never into that stuff. I did play The Sims 4, whatever the last Sims was that was a huge flop, remember? I did play that one. It was funny. Okay. Am I good at Texas Hold'em poker? No. Do I know the rules? Yes. Am I good at it? No. Can I fly? Yes. Watch this. Oh my god, look at that! I'm flying! I'm flying! Anyway, Slayer says, you mentioned you like alternative rock in the K-pop reaction video. Were there a few K-pop groups that use alternative rock in the instrumental? Do you prefer alternative rock? I mean, that's what when I was growing up in the early 90s, that was what was popular. I didn't like rap, alright? I didn't like, I would say R&B wasn't bad. R&B, actually, I've actually grown more respect for it over the years. For the rhythm and a lot of interesting lyrics and just the way that they could sing. A lot of them were really good singers. But alternative rock for me was like the kind of music that was, you know, Stone Temple Pilots, you know, Creed, anything that was all Nirvana. I could sit here and name 100 bands that I listened to that were alt rock back in the day. Okay, they weren't. The reason they were called alt rock is because they were rock. They had bands with you know, fucking guitar and all the instruments you would have in a rock band, but it wasn't like metal and it wasn't hair metal and that kind of 80s rock. It was more mellowed out, and that's what they call like mellowed out, man. Alternative rock, a little different, grungy, like grunge band, a little different. So that's what I grew up with. So that's what I mean. Like when I listen to some of the music and I wow, it kind of sounds like that. It has that sound to it. Maybe the lyrics and definitely the singing's a little different, but it definitely has that kind of vibe to it, you know. So here did a follow-up question. Do you like 80s retro music? Is there music you like? Here's the thing. 80s retro music is ingrained in my body. I don't necessarily like 80s retro music. I just know it because I grew up in that time period. Anytime you went to a store, like a grocery store or a mall, you would just hear it blaring. MTV was huge at the time. So in the 1980s, did I sit around listening to I want my MTV, money for nothing and the chicks for free? No, I didn't listen to that. But I know it because it was so popular. It was everywhere. It was absolutely everywhere. Fuck, I never listened to a single Madonna song in its entirety, but I can tell. Papa, don't preach. I'm in trouble. Papa, don't preach. I've been losing sleep. See? And I never listened to it. You hear it so much, you just fucking, it's fused into my brain cells. You can't get it out. So I'm a kid of the 80s. I know the music of the 80s. I know, you know what I mean? But the 90s is when I actively was old enough to choose the music that I wanted to listen to, and that's when alt rock was the big thing. So, there you go. I joked earlier about doing a 4-hour podcast when I come back from my day off, but why don't I do an extended 2-hour podcast just for that day of the week? I mean, I almost did that today. I did over an hour and a half. Usually, I try to start my podcast around 11:15-ish, and then I try to end it by 12:30. So like an hour 15 minutes roughly. Today I went way over that, and I didn't even come close to covering all my topics. We had so much to talk about. So, I mean, maybe if it's called for. The thing is, there's still to this day, if you can believe it. So, I've been doing pre-streams for how long? Years and years, right? I've now been officially doing a podcast. First, it was the pre-stream podcast. Now it's called the Level 1 podcast since November. Let's do the math on that one. So, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and we're about halfway through July. All right? 8.5 to 9 months I've been doing this on a daily basis. There are still people who bitch that I'm doing a podcast. Why doesn't he playing games? It's like, these are the same people who probably complain, why aren't I doing co-op with John Rambo, right? Some people, I swear to God, they're just like, I don't know. Anyway, I like doing the podcast. I would like doing more podcast content, but I think people get tired of it and want me to do other stuff too. So I don't know. I like the podcast stuff. Total Eclipse of the Heart and Phil Collins songs are burned into my brain. I was born in 84, says Mark. Oh, I know that stuff. I like a lot of Phil Collins stuff from back in the day. More Genesis, although I know a few solo Phil Collins songs, but more of the Genesis stuff. Skis TV, I will just tell you this, because people are now trying to get me into PC talk. I don't think we should do that tonight. It's not even a time, okay? Building a PC or getting a pre-built, I have to get a pre-built. There's no way that I'm going to be able to realistically, all right, in any way, shape, or capacity, buy all the components for a PC, have them all shipped here separately, unpack them, figure out how to properly put them together, test them, install all the software, update the software, all the drivers and shit, get it all working fine. You know, it's just not going to happen. It would take so much time and work just to have an interesting. And I can tell you now again, yes, it's 2022. Absolutely. That's the year. The last time I built a PC was probably like 20 years ago. Okay. But let's just give you, and even knowing what I was doing back in the day. All right. Knowing exactly how to do it and everything. I knew all the ins and outs. You get the mat you put it on so you don't accidentally static shock the fucking thing. You know, and I knew all that stuff. And I built multiple PCs. I think I probably built at least 3, if not 4 high-end PCs back in the day from components that I bought online or whatever, okay? And knowing how to do it. There was never a time, not once, that I put it together and it just went instantly working, everything, no problems, okay? Whenever you build a PC, there's problems. Now, the thing is, if you're accustomed to doing it, the problems are no big deal. Oh, look, this one thing isn't compatible right now. Let me get a new driver. Oh, look, this isn't working right or whatever. Oh, maybe... I haven't done it in over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, the truth of the matter is here that it would end up being a disaster. And I hate to say it, there's too many assholes on the internet who want it to be a disaster. There's people out there who would love nothing more than for me to spend a ton of money on a bunch of components, have them all show up, and then it doesn't work. Or it fucks up, or, you know, I can't, I'm not someone who can do that. You understand what I'm saying? If I am going to get a new computer, it has to work. I can't be fucking around with shit not working, putting all this time, money, and effort into something, and then it just doesn't work at all. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, I'm sorry. I mean, moving forward in my life, I think I just have to get a pre-built. Something that is already working. They've put all the components together. They've turned it on. They've tested it. It runs. Everything's installed. Everything's good to go. I can just plug it in. And yeah, I'll have to do some learning. I know there's going to be a learning curve no matter what. I'm probably going to have to learn how to, reset up all my shit in OBS. I'm sure that, what's really going to be different? Whatever capture I get. Because I've been using an external capture card for the longest time. And now I'm going to have to be working with a new card and a new method to do things. Everyone says, oh, you've been doing it wrong. You should have been using, I don't even know if you guys use it anymore. Didn't you call it shadow play like 8 years ago or whatever? Like, shadow play is the way to encode videos at a small, I don't even know what it was. It was like it's either higher quality or a certain file size or something. I tried doing it, and the files that came out were insanely huge. Like, ginormously fucking huge. And I was like, how could I possibly do this? And this is going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is going to be like giant file sizes and shit. How could I even do this? So I just went with the straight up, have it go through this external capture card that I have and go right through the encoding software, whatever it may be. First it was Xvideo, not Xvideo, Xvid. Wasn't it called Xvid? XSplit. That's what it was called. XSplit. I had a subscription. That's right. I had like a long ass subscription to XSplit for like 5-6. I bought like an extended subscription to it, and I did it for like 2-3 years, and then it didn't really work that well anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they changed the software or I was just trying to do too much with it. But all of a sudden, like, it didn't really work that well anymore, and that's when I decided to just completely switch it over to OBS. And I've been using OBS at least since like 2016. So I probably only used XSplit 2013, 2014, 2015, and I dropped it. And then I started using OBS for like a long ass time. So I just used whatever, whatever the default was, whatever the default settings were, or whatever. I would say, oh, it detects this video device, detects it in OBS, or detects it in XSplit, whatever the defaults were. And there's a few settings and stuff you pick, and that was it. And everyone always told me I did it wrong. Oh, the reason that your videos don't look good is because you're not using shadow play and you're not using this other third thing or whatever. I never really understood what people were trying to tell me. I never got it. The times that I tried to do it, I saw zero increase in performance or no improvement, but the file sizes were ginormous. So I said, fuck this, and I went ahead and just, did my own thing. Today, I bet it would be completely different. Like, if I have a new capture card that's an internal card, it would probably be a different process, I'm thinking, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. It's been a long time, so. NVIDIA's encoder is accessible within OBS. You don't need shadow play anymore. You haven't had to in about 7 years. Okay? So Derek says that when I unboxed that last PC, the one I'm using now is 2014. So it's an 8-year-old PC. Yeah, I got it that summer. Because if I remember correctly, I moved and I brought my PC with me, fully intending I was going to keep using that PC because that PC was from 2011, something like that. But I guess it got damaged in the move or something, because I remember it wasn't turning on properly anymore. Like, I would go to turn it on and it would have issues. It would have errors and shit. And there was one point where it wasn't even turning on. This is not good. So that's when I decided at that point, listen, I already moved across the country. I already changed everything else. I better change my PC too, And that's when I did. That's when I bought my PC that I've now had for 8 years. So, there you go. And now the chat is frozen. What happened? Are we okay? Stream's working. Last few minutes, guys. Probably another 5-10 minutes of Q&A before we adjourn for the night. Thank you for being supportive and for all the questions. What's my favorite carpet style? Shag, baby. No, I don't even know carpet styles. The fuck? Like, I'm some carpet expert. Will I wear a vest for $22? What? You mean if we hit $100? $100 is the hat goal, not the vest goal. Why? What a question. Slayer says, what style of music do I prefer? So he has an idea which K-pop videos to show. Like I've said, I like alternative rock, and I would say I do actually like classical music. I like more upbeat music, that kind of stuff. The whole sounds totally like a pop auto tune shit. Like, that's the problem with some of these bands, right? Or they're not even bands anymore. They're just music groups. You listen, it's like, dude, it's 90% auto-tuned. Even the K-pop was auto-tuned. It's like, boy, they just really have to go, or they're going with this auto-tune thing. You know, like, they don't need it. They can sing. They still auto-tune anyway. Because they all want to sound the same, right? They all want to sound like they all are using the same trends and the same technology. I guess it would actually probably be weirder if they didn't auto-tune than if they do. If they don't auto-tune, like, what are they doing, right? But I don't like auto-tuning. Yes, Derek. So you're pasting the description of the video. Why are you doing that? No Sleep Real Vibes, you've heard me many times talk about how I feel that YouTube went downhill. They went from a site that when I first started on YouTube in 2007 and then started uploading content consistently in 2008, the site was a positive site. And what I mean by that is people who watch content on YouTube were there because they had a feeling of, oh, this is free content, it's positive content, let's watch it and enjoy it. And people were always constructive in video comments. I know that's crazy to hear. People were very constructive in video comments, saying, thank you so much for free content. You know, here's some suggestions. Here's some great things I liked about your video. Or they're like, everything was very positive when I started on YouTube. And YouTube was really meant to be at that point. If you're someone who has a talent, whether it could be you're a comedian, you're a singer, you're a talented dancer, right? You're an expert or a guru in a certain subject matter. Maybe you know about science or space or something like that. People who had how-to videos, how to fix things in your house, how to do a makeup tutorial, how to paint. These were the things that were very popular on YouTube at the beginning. And the reason they were popular is because these were people who they had talent, but they had absolutely no financial backing whatsoever to do anything with the talent. They had no way to get noticed for said talent because they were just normal people like you and me. But by having YouTube, a place where you can upload that content, you could get noticed on YouTube back then. And people who were previously no one knew who the fuck they were, overnight became sensations on the internet, became well known, ended up having popular channels, ended up starting businesses. It was wild back then. Today, good fucking luck. You could be the most talented person on the planet, and you will never be noticed on YouTube. You have to follow a particular content creation style. You have to follow the trend that will pick up on the algorithm on YouTube. You literally cannot be yourself and try to be popular on YouTube. The only reason that I have ever been able to keep doing this as long as I have is because I started in those formative years. I had the foothold in YouTube history. People know me for various different reasons, but people know the name Darkside Phil or DSPGaming. So I have longevity because people know I've been around the block for so long. They know who I am as a person, as a content creator, and I have longtime fans as well as haters, but it works hand in hand to keep you alive and pertinent. You know what I'm saying? Take a look at my viewership. It's not good. Let's be honest here. It's just not good. You know, on an average stream, I get a few hundred people. On a popular stream, the most I guess like 1,000, right? My views on YouTube have plummeted. They're not popular anymore. I never get picked up by the YouTube algorithm. I don't get viral videos anymore. Never. I did. There was a time when I used to get them all the time. Never, right? But I'm able to somehow still have an active, successful business without having changed my formula, changed who I am as a content creator, and without shilling to you guys constantly with ads. All right? Just today, on a whim, because we've been talking about some of these content creators recently, okay? I clicked on Channel Awesome for the first time in about 10 years, okay? And there's a bunch of videos there from Doug Walker, the Nostalgia Critic, But all their video, I guess now he does other things too. He does film reviews as opposed to just like nostalgic reviews. He does reviews of new movies that don't have production value, just him talking. There's a couple other people who still make stuff for the site. I couldn't believe fucking Cinema Snob still makes stuff for him. Cinema Snob was there at the beginning, like 10, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and he's still there with him making content, which is crazy to me. He stayed with him that long. Everyone else apparently quit the site or whatever. But I just happened to click on it, and the reason I made a stupid Austin Powers joke, I said Shag Rug. He did a review of the Austin Powers movies as the nostalgia critic. I said, I'm just going to click on this and see what it is. I haven't seen it in so long. So I clicked on it, and it's about a 20-minute long review, which is about longer than he used to do. He used to do maybe about 10-minute long reviews. He had a much longer review. And immediately, the first thing that happens when you click play, this video is brought to you by, who are his sponsors? It was, oh my God, it was... One of them was DoorDash, the food delivery service. And one of them, Stamps.com. This video is brought to you by Stamps.com and DoorDash. And then he does about 10 minutes of content. And then right in the middle, he has a scheduled ad break on YouTube. Now, I'm still under the free trial of YouTube Premium, so I didn't see the ads. But he actually films his video, says, now it's time for a break. And he cuts to black, and he schedules an ad to be in the middle of his video specifically to make money. Then when you come back from the ad break, he runs 2 more ads that are scripted. Him talking about Stamps.com and then him talking about DoorDash. It's part of his video forever. It's not, this is an ad that runs and it'll go away over time. This is part of his video forever because he took a payday to have that shit in his video. And then he finishes the review. And I'm like, I get it. I totally get it. Why it has to happen. But this is so crazy to me that this is what everyone on YouTube has to now do. I mean, it was actually in the Rob Gavigan videos that we watched and reacted. It was in there. People, this is how you have to make a living now. You can't just make content you like anymore. You know? But I don't have to do that because of you guys. You guys have allowed me to do that. You guys have totally allowed me to do it. Thank you. Really. Thank you for allowing me to have longevity. But you see, that's the difference between old YouTube and new YouTube. Old YouTube was have talent, get noticed, get popular, make money, start a business, you're set, you're good. New YouTube is, you actually want to have any kind of relevance and make a living doing it? Well, you better have paid product placements, ads all over your video, left to right, up to down, all over your screen. You've got to be doing so much. You have a Patreon. You got to have a Kickstarter. You got to have there's all these other ways too. Like I've seen there's a million of these things now. Ways to contribute. Buy my shirts. Buy my socks. Buy my fucking condoms with my face on them. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. And this ends up being such a push for content creators to make a living now. It's pretty sad. And I'm sad that that's what it's become, especially when I look at someone like Doug Walker, right? Someone who I used to look up to as a content creator. By the way, not saying I don't anymore. I watched the video. I actually liked that. I thought the video was funny. It was the history of Austin Powers. I agreed with a lot of the points he made. I still think the guy has a lot of talent. But to see that to watch the content, you have to go through so much shit. What a different place YouTube is today. Holy shit. I like the smell of shit. Tipped $1.50 and says, would you do a 24-hour stream? No, it's not healthy. I told you guys, if ever I had a team of people I worked with and we could tag in and out and split up 24 hours into, I'm going to do a 6-hour block, then you do a 6-hour block, then we do a 6-hour block that's co-op, then we, you know what I mean? And then we take breaks and we rest. That, I would never do 24 hours at once. That's insanely stupid. You hurt yourself. Still the Shadows, I agree with you. He says, this isn't Doug's fault. It's the way YouTube wants it to be. I fucking 1,000,000% agree with you. And that's what's sad. Is that because YouTube could not maintain their business model, because they did everything automated, and they still to this day, this morning, someone complained on my podcast, on the Level 1 podcast. They came into the chat, and they said, Phil, we know that you're taking down videos on YouTube. We know it's you. Like, I've never fucking done this. Everything is automated on YouTube. They literally created a business of AI and bots that don't have intelligence. They say artificial intelligence. It's not artificial intelligence. It's lack of intelligence. It's just an algorithm that's flawed, written by a human that's flawed. It doesn't work. So everyone gets hit with false strikes, false this, false demonetization, ads on the wrong content. You know what I mean? If YouTube had any competent management, this never would have happened. We would have been able to keep doing like we were doing up till 2017. But the crap hit the fan, man. When you got fucking Walmart ads on a terrorist video, when you got Starbucks, you know, advertising on someone who's doing a religious rant, what did you think would happen? Really, what did you think would happen? And it took that long for them to institute, oh, this should be ad approved, like you know, advertisement friendly or not content. Then they institute the system and it doesn't work and it demonetizes everyone's legit content because they're idiots. Like, there was no way it was going to be maintainable unless they actually decided to take it seriously and hire people to do the job. Hire and trained employees, real intelligence, not some algorithm that doesn't work, real intelligence, judging on a subjective basis what is valid, what is not, what should have ads, what shouldn't, what kind of stuff do you think will actually maintain businesses on your site. I'll give you a little hint. It's not drama content. It's not insult this person, rumor about this person that they're a pedophile or they did this scam and shit. No advertiser wants their ads on that. They want nothing to do with that. Yet that's all YouTube pushed. So when they push that, advertisers are looking like, what are you, insane? No, this will never, ever be something that we want to advertise on. This is not going to make our products be in a good light. Oh, look, here's a guy who literally rips apart another YouTuber for 35 straight minutes, degrading them and saying they're the worst person on the planet. You know, go crucify them. By the way, brought to you by Subway sandwiches. Like, what? No, who the fuck wants that? But this is exactly what happened on YouTube. It became this slippery slope of what became popular. YouTube refused to step in and say, oh, this is trash content. This should not be on our site. And at the very least, this should not be monetized. And what happened? The advertisers looked and said, oops, we don't want our advertisements on your site anymore. All the advertisements went away. The ads that are left are pathetically paying. You can't make a living doing it anymore, but people still want to do what they're passionate about. Some people had million dollar businesses said, oh, what do we do? How do we make up for the lost revenue? Because the ads are gone. Sell shit. Sell a shirt, sell a mug, sell G Fuel, sell a fucking hat, sell a fucking toothbrush, sell a fucking life insurance policy, sell stamps on stamps.com, fucking DoorDash food to your house. You know what I mean? Like, and it's okay, so now what's the difference between watching on TV and watching on YouTube? I could watch TV, which is much higher production value, by the way, and it has the same amount of ads as what I'm seeing on YouTube, in some cases even less, right? So what's the difference? Anyway, that was me just kind of venting a little bit about the whole YouTube situation. Mr. Bubblicious Ass to the $1.50 says, do you still watch the YouTube channel that makes video game weapons? We haven't looked at that in a million years. That was like years ago we were watching it, and we haven't done that in a very long time. So, no. Thank you for the tip. Excuse me. Derek, I'm very glad you were here tonight. I'm glad you hung out with me tonight, even though it was one of the most random streams I've probably ever done. What was my favorite sub from Subway? When I used to eat there, either the Subway Melt or the Italian BMT. I actually liked those two subs, admittedly. As much as I criticize and shit on Subway constantly, I thought the two were decent. The amount of meat and if you added enough flavorful things to it, like veggies and condiments, they weren't bad. Those two were pretty good. Okay. Slayer says, I see some YouTube videos. The ad placement is timed perfectly links with the topic discussed in the video in a documentary style. That's pretty well done. If they do that, that's good. No, I never went to McDonald's as a kid. Willis said, did I get Happy Meals from McDonald's as a kid? No, I never went to McDonald's. I always went to Burger King. I always got the Burger King Crown Meal, I think it was called. It was either the BK Kids Meal or the Burger King Crown Meal. I forget what it was called, but that's what I always got when I was a kid. Okay. All right, I think we're running out of time. I mean, I went late. Oops. I actually went late. So, guys, thank you. A nice, fun, chill stream. I had a good time with you guys. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for making the best. We made lemonade out of lemons tonight with Zelda ending early and the fighting game's not working. Thank you for that. And I appreciate any support and everything here tonight. It was great. Conversation was good. Thank you. Thanks so much, everybody. Awesome.